All right, so let's move on to my very next conversation. On Saturday was primaries, literally ABGA, Labour Party, APC, all had their primaries to get a flag bearer ahead of the November governorship election. So there's going to be an election in Anambra State for the next term of leadership in terms of who is going to be the governor. The governor, of course, has gotten, the ABGA-led state, which Governor Soludo is the leader of the party in the state, has gotten his ticket to be the flag bearer or standard bearer of the party. But the APC has also gotten a standard bearer to give ABGA a run for their money. He's joining me on the program now to bring us up to speed on some of the things we'll be discussing. Mr. Nicholas Ukachukwu is the APC governorship candidate in Anambra governorship election coming up in November. Mr. Ukachukwu, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right, we needed to touch base with all the protests that is happening, but one of the things I was just talking to my colleague who I'm sure you listened to him when he said it was malhandled by the police for whatever reason. It's a shame that we're still dealing with this kind of situation in 2025. But that's where actually my question will start from, because you are running for governor in Anambra State under the platform of the APC. A lot of people have their different version or perception as to what the APC stand for. But there's this strong perception that the APC government is hostile to dissenting voices. Do you agree with that perception?
Well, Jeff, I think my starting point would be to appreciate those who actually contributed immensely for my emergence as the candidate. So I'll first of all thank our president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our national chairman, the working committee, the committee that came to conduct the primaries, led by the governor of Cross River State. It was a big sacrifice on their part. And also the state schools, local government schools, the world executive, world chairman, and the delegates who stood and stayed throughout the night to make sure they produce a candidate that they believe can win the election for them. Having appreciated, I thank them. And for the first time, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is giving us free and fair with the working committee primary in Anambra State. That was seamless and it was very good and it ended well. And also want to thank my colleagues that participated, that contested me. There's no winner, there's no loser, all of us are winners. All we want is to come together and deliver state and connect Anambra back to the center. Having said that, whosoever that was saying that is his own opinion. One way or the other, one another, it should be part of a country like Nigeria. And everybody have the right to be guided and respected or protected by the law, irrespective of who the person is. So my opinion might not be exactly what it is, but I also believe that things should be done properly. Jeff.
Yeah, I must first of all, I forgot to say that part, so let me rephrase. I must first of all congratulate you for emerging. So in saying that, as a matter of fact, we're going to come back to this issue, but my focus for you is Anambra State. So let me just ask a generic question. Do you think you can give Professor Soludo and ABGA a run for their money? And how do you intend to do that? Without necessarily campaigning, because campaign season is not here.
Well, actually, thank you, Jeff. It's a very wonderful question. The first question is that what's the Anambra population talking now? What's their belief? What's their feeling? What do they want? And if that question is answered in just a few seconds, Anambra felt that the Anambrarians have total belief that enough of staying one party state. It's time for them to move to the center and be part of this cause of this country, Nigeria. You can imagine where there's a caucus meeting where some certain decisions are being made that will affect almost all state. And no Anambra governor is there. Nobody from there can be able to speak for Anambra. And it now happens that the majority of the intervention project come from the good heart of the president, not from the fact that this is the right of the state, because government is there to talk about their rights. So the Anambras are tired of one state party. They want to move to the center. So it's not just me. Almost 80% of elites in Anambra State, if not more, all the people who knows what they know, who control the crowd. Don't forget, Anambra somehow is Republican in nature. They believe so much in themselves. They are contented. So they are clustered around their leaders. So their leaders have much control and say about what they think, what actually should happen. Because those leaders take care of their needs. like me, is unconverted that the infrastructure in my town, all the nook and crannies of my community and around were all tied by asphalt concrete roads. And it was done by us, not government. So, and then, meaning they will believe us when we say this. Same also in many communities. So we want to go back to the center in order to be connected back to the center. Right place to be.
Ms. Ukachukwu, you need to help me here. I think when I hear, I've interviewed loads of politicians like you at some of the highest levels, and it's very concerning when I hear things like, we need to connect to the center. It's only in Nigeria and places like Africa I hear such conversation. How does connecting to the center affect development in any shape or form? We're running a democracy, whether it's a one-party state or not. It's inconsequential in a democracy. It's about the ability of the individual who is in charge to be able to deliver good governance to the people. So help me understand when politicians like you say, we want to connect to the center. Must you connect to the center to bring development to your people? We have other clients, we have examples, and this thing is not a conversation. Why is it a conversation here?
You see, Jeff, maybe you didn't take out actually the message out of what happened from the messenger. Even in the United States of America, there are some certain privileges that accrue to you as a Republican who are in power now. Even when Democrats were there, the same thing happened to them. It's all over the world, Jeff. When you belong to the ruling party at any point in time, there are some certain privileges and some certain things that actually that comes to you no matter
so educators. Sorry, sir. Educators, such as what? Is it that your approvals will not be? What exactly is different? That's what I just want to find out. Maybe we do not know. Help us, because you're trying to be governor. You're going to make this case to the people as well as part of your campaign promise. And so, if I'm an electorate, you haven't convinced me as to why connecting to center will make any difference in any way. So maybe you will help us here, sir.
Okay, Jeff, if I allow me to conclude that message, you would have gotten actually what they're asking for. Now coming back to Nigeria from where I stopped, you realize that in National Assembly, for instance, there's a certain laws that can impact on your people. There's a certain decision that might need it. It's the majority and the party who has the majority will always have a way. It's everywhere, it's practiced everywhere. Minority will always struggle to get their voice heard. So even if when you have the wonderful things, it's about party line all over the world. You need to lobby the majority to pass even the bills that you feel are actually right. That's how it happens everywhere. So along that party line, there's certain things that being there will bring to our state. Notwithstanding, there's no country in the world that when you win an election and then you will appoint opponent directors and managing director of prostators, appoint ministers and give them some certain responsibility because they are part of the federation. No, it's given to the party in power. And those things, those people can attract one development or the other to be able now to work with the states, have a synergy. That one state is working with what they have, those things will come also and complement what state is doing. There are a lot that's involved. And because when you are in power, you do not give positions to your opponents or to enemies. That they're all given to the members of that party that work hard for that party. So those will complement the governor in doing and discharging their duties and bringing the dividend of democracy to people. Moreover, that's what happened. Donald Trump did not appoint Democrats into positions of office. Likewise, any other place too. There's nothing different with that in Nigeria. So bringing Anambra to the center, attract those things back to us. That's what I'm talking about.
So I get your point. Now, you are talking about legislative upper hand and even some appointments that could be able to attract development. That's a good case from your position. Let's talk about your faith in the electoral umpire. I know it's early days, but November is closer than we expect. To be able to deliver on this election as far as November is concerned, because APGA is the way we see APGA, for those of us who cover politics, it's not just a political party. It's also perceived as almost ancestral to the Ndibo nationality, respecting for Ojukwu and all of that. But you understand what I'm saying? So I'm wondering how you will be able to walk through the fine lines of the sentiment of people who are loyal to that cause to be able to get votes for yourself and the party.
Jeff, thank you very much. You see, Jeff, This party is about human beings, and human beings makes the party. Just don't forget, I was the board member of APOGA in Anambra State. And I ran primary with Bianca Ojukwu, who is the wife of the late Kembo Ojukwu. And I won her in that primary. What am I saying? People go for the individual, they believe they have character and what they think to deliver. We have been using that slogan that this is our state. We don't have makes up of this. Don't forget also, I want to say on record, I'm not as you're hearing me. There are local government that since I've been in politics in Anambra State, any party I've joined have always been a local government. Government in power, being APGA there, has never won those local government until I joined APGA. And it's on record. Let me give one example. Nebu South, where I come from. When I was in PDP, I won it for PDP. When I was even in Hope, new party, I won it for Hope. When I was in NPP, I won for NPP. When I joined APGA, I brought it to APGA. Same also are other leaders who are like that in the state. I won't be quoted. That's exactly what it is. So it's not what you think, it's not what it is. People believe us because we have investment, we have invested in their life, and they believe that we're honest and we will tell them what to do. It is deception, and that deception has to stop. We use it to keep our people to ourselves, but it's not working. But when the time for police come, I'll be able to portray it more. But it is not like that, remember.
Yeah, Mr. Ukachukwu, of course, definitely we're going to have you during when the campaign season comes. But I'm looking at the score. If there's a word bigger than landslide, that's how you won. I think you won by 1,455 votes as against Valentine's Ozigbo's 67. So nobody came close. It was literally a walk in the park for you. I'm wondering why you think that happened, and more importantly, how you'll be able to galvanize the people that want your position now within your party, the APC, whether the new entrants like Ozigbo and the rest of them who have been there, because you've talked about you've moved from different parties, but there are people that have been in the APC, built the APC, who wanted the opportunity you have now. Do you trust that they're going to work for you despite these numbers? Because I've been around long enough to know that these numbers cannot deceive me when it comes to working together. So what are you doing to galvanize their interest and support?
Thank you, Jeff. You see, those numbers you saw during our primary, it's not just about me. It's a movement. APC, they are determined to win the governance of Anambra State. So they went out to get a candidate they believe that can win, who they believe that actually with the support they can win. And my colleagues are around with me. They all put up a very good effort. And also our two governors who are APC governors, who put Adema, His Excellency, and then with His Excellency, they all played a wonderful role to make sure that the primaries were free and fair and give the Anambrans opportunity to choose their leader that will actually lead them. So those things are people speaking. The ward chairman, the delegate, speaking they are that this time around we want to get it right. We don't want the candidate that we impose on us. We want to choose that person and put our faith in that person so it can win. Then coming to my colleague, some have congratulated me already. Those who have not, I've been talking with them. And then somewhere along the line, we'll meet in the life because one thing was very sure. All of us want to deliver Anambra to the center and they want good dividend for our people. And until that happens, I don't think any of them will rest. But like I said, we're talking. Some have already congratulated me already. Some are already talking with me. And it won't be long. All of us will come together to bring Anambra to where it should be.
Mr. Nicholas Ukachukwu, I wish you the very best. It's a very strong and tough responsibility. I just remember, I think APC came third in the last election. So you've said wherever you go, you win. So November will tell your how much of a juggernaut, political juggernaut you are in this particular exercise. But almost thank you for coming on the program and wish you the very best. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right, Nicholas Ukachukwu is the APC governorship candidate in Anambra State in the election that is coming up sometime in November this year. And that's it on the program. Our eyes and our ears are all over the country to find out what's going on, bring you up to speed right here on Channels Television. I'm Jeffrey Ozanga. You've been served on Lunchtime Politics. Bye-bye.